Leoka, welcome to Young and Proud Educators. Where we speak everything education. I mean everything education. So we having you, brother. You know, most of the time I was thinking about it last night. Like we as people, we're looking at role models beyond like in the higher levels, and
Yes.
we're not aware that you know what we hang around with our models, like role
Mm,
models, like in our midst, people that we speak to every day, and you're one of my role models. So that's why I got
I
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm humbled. Okay, I'm humbled.
thank you, man. Thank you. Definitely, you're one of my role model. We friends. You're my role model. We know each other now for what 3 4 years.
Yeah, well, it's been
Yeah,
coming
three.
since Lebone days. Even before I went to Lebone, when I came over for that what's his names for that week that they came in and they gave me that introduction,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was walking down with Di, and as I was walking down, you came up and you were like in a rush, and then she was like, "Oh, you should meet this guy." And then I was like, "All right, who's this? Who's this young brother over here?" She's like, "No, he's our linguistian. His name is Releva King. He's doing his M in this and it's this and it's this." And then, yeah, I was like, "Seems like a nice guy. You know, he seems like somebody I'd like to know."
We met.
Appreciate your
We definitely
appreciate your
met.
kind words, my friend. I
Sure.
appreciate it. It's really humbling to hear that. And as I would say, you are also an inspiration. You know, I mean, it goes without saying. And you're also someone that is driven. And you don't get many of those kind of people in general. As you look at Rona batho ba banyane nou yana ha
Yeah,
ntse re
yeah,
tswella for
yeah,
pele.
yeah.
Everyone nothing and all of those things. I mean, it's necessary or you must loosen up, but hey, you can't stay
Sure.
loose, bro. Hey, hey, hey,
That's what I'm
hey,
saying.
hey,
Let's
hey,
have a good fun.
hey.
Let's
Yes,
have good
yes, I
fun.
completely agree.
Yeah. I saw you when I left Colbone, and then you followed, and then later on you made like boss moves. That's when you moved to China, and we're gonna talk about that just in short. And before we go in there,
Mm.
York, York, I'll tell you.
Loka Proaga,
Sure.
hey, loka ke mfana wa mo Africa o
Yeah.
tswang o tlhagileng ko Bethlehem, ne?
Sure. Sure.
Eh ke o kry-ile opportunity ya gore a kgone gore a learn the different languages.
Awesome.
First of all, Afrikaans. Ka gore ne ke kena sekolo le bafana ba ma-Afrikaans since pre-primary.
Sure.
Ke a gopola sekolo sa teng ke Tinkyland,
Yeah.
pre-primaire. Nako sa pande pre-primaire.
Pre-premier.
Since ke tsa ko Welkom and then ke tsa mo Welkom ke ga ke ya for Bedelia primaire.
Yeah.
Before di bitsa di-land school,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
primaire school.
Sure.
And that's where I explored. I was discovered by a young lady at the time,
Mm.
Jeffro Hilda
Yeah.
Duplessis. I had athletic abilities. I was fast, smart. I was black, and I had
I was black. I was black. You like to change now. What color are you now? Are you purple?
no. I was a black guy
Oh,
amongst
black in that
white boys.
context. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I was a black amongst white privileged boys, and they were like, it was a
Yeah.
time no go batho ba bantsi le fela motho o montsho,
Yeah.
ra meetse ra mmona gore ke motho o montsho, but this one o na le something. And then I was there until third grade. And ke
Sure.
ga batswadi ba ka ba shift ba ka for Carltonville. And then from Carltonville, bro, ga ke tsena mo sekolong sa Westfield Primary.
I see. I
Go
see.
ra le
That's cool.
Majimbo se ba botaki da bafana ba mo kasi. Hey, ke di fem small town,
Yeah.
And then since then, it was an English school,
Sure.
and I had a little difficulty of transition from Afrikaans
Ah.
as being the language and to a different thing ya English. But then,
Sure.
hey, ke ga bro wa ka ke tsena Saturday school tama ka mplela re mo dileng ya go ya gore o ra o itse a o tlhaloganye sekgowa ne Saturday school
Because it's
start
fun.
school Saturday from 9 to 3. Ay, ne ke gereza bro wa ka ne ke gereza ile sa mannete ke ba tsena. And then as time went on,
Yeah.
I became a success in terms of
Awesome.
I started competing on a higher level in sport provincially
So,
from the age of
this
10.
competing on higher level, was this rugby, athletics, or all of them at once?
It was all of them:
Ah,
athletics,
got it.
shouting, rugby. Lions, cricket, Gauteng cricket, hockey. I was these three.
So
We need some people here. But what's Jamaica? No more. And then at 7th grade, then I got bursary opportunities. A couple of them, different schools, St. Stadions, St. John's, and not St. Mary's, St. David's, Kersley, and all the different schools, Cares, JP Boys High, and the most one was Eyako World School Monument, Eyako Monas.
In Krugersdorp.
Then in Krugersdorp. And then I took that one. I went there, stayed in the boarding school, tough time. The only black student in the boarding school, a year younger as well. Grade 7, grade 12. Grade 8, grade 13. How we can follow Copala Buru Proaga. That man was shave claro 14. It was shave that man like a baby face. Only portraits of Canada Kohaga man. Can't for we rahalang. Can't for we rahala. Ever found about the Proaga. Anyway. I get and then the year came on. I was playing lock in rugby because it's a rugby school, but it's a sports school. I was playing cricket. I was playing a year above. I was the best, one of the best in the age group above mine. And then the next year, I came grade 9 when my age group came. Like, how much this? I don't know. Our aim is this. We need to what is your aim for? Where do you see yourself? And that is when I started setting goals, and that's when the coach. Meneer Jan van started. Even today, we are still in contact. I mean, he was like a father to me. He was like a, living in a boarding school. Coming through that, you can't go home. Saturday, Middleburg, Witbank, we weren't wealthy. My parents, we were making ends meet. We couldn't always be there, and I had to, you had to deal with what you had. One man Saturday, and then Sunday gets hard taxi. Saturday Hussein gets hard taxi. Choco, Sunday Hussein, I'm back, and sometimes Wednesday, hey, I'm going to have some coffee with my mom. And my dad just came. He bought me some goodies. I went on to follow. Hey, it's Mara. If only. I don't worry about it. But that only at that time you were young. It was different. You just did what you had, and even though it was bad, it was a learning opportunity, and it was a opportunity to build your character. And then I was performing under 15, Jamaica cricket, about 17, 18 years, 19 years. I was called up to the Gauteng squad. I was called up to the Lions, and then I played Lions, and then I made the SA team, the 60-man squad, practice. So everything was happening, opportunities coming, and then I finished school. I went to university. Psychology, and I did it. And then I
Is a sport?
Yes, Northwest University, sport. And I was fascinated because why is someone doing this? So the whole idea was for me to go and understand the psychology of people, or psychology, just why, because that's generally what psychology is about. How do you feel? The what is that. And there I met different people, had different opportunities too, and especially from the foundation that was laid, because Monas is a high school in a reputation. When you come to a place and hear Monas, you must know some things. You were that guy that was playing this position, Kai. They say, yes, that was me. But I don't even know you. Hey, but I know you. So it was not easy, but it was like, it felt good. To be honest, it felt good. Considering what one went through in order to achieve and attain that kind of resemblance to people, because it goes without showing out if people can recognize you from what you were doing beforehand, and it's different. We mutile for like
because there's traffic, there's police van coming, and I don't want it to disturb. So so I'm then just close to main road. Then just like that. So
no worries. Yeah. Then, long story short, I was in university, got an opportunity to be a leader in the residence for 2 years. did different committees, and then that's when I finished my psychology. I was 20,
Yeah.
got my degree, and then I felt like
Awesome.
because I have been grinding so hard,
Yeah.
I didn't get an opportunity. Come again. And I get why it's how become university to open other 20-year-olds. You know what 20-year-olds are doing and 19-year-olds go varsity. Can me fella why Monday to Monday.
Shapa
So
monate.
bro, I'll fail to fail, bro. I can't get about that. Hey, looks, bro. You know what? Hey, bro, what you doing, bro? It's Sunday.
Yeah,
No, man.
yeah.
Just chilling. Yeah, bro. No, man. No, we're having a bride at my house. Come through. Oh, off we can I get. Hey, you know what I put on it? Can I get some taka? Cause I classing. But anyway, I'm here right now. I already want to.
Yeah.
And through that, out of the people that I went to university with, I was one of the two, I think. There were a couple of guys. We were living together in the house, 14, 15 guys in the house.
Mm.
Rugby house, played rugby, played university rugby, played provincial rugby, semi-pro,
Yeah.
and cricket as well for the Dragons in the Northwest,
Yeah.
the senior team. And I was studying and I was a leader. I was juggling different balls at the time.
Awesome.
So as I finished the psychology degree, by that time, half of my friends were gone, man. They first used to second year half. This is not for me. Taiwan ali business. I don't know bo papa baru na bada business into ara.
That's true. That's true.
Doesn't matter how bad it is. Manage
Just stick there. You continue grinding, grinding, grinding. Sure.
and then I decided I want to be an educator.
Yeah.
Then after my degree, I get a PGCE. Yan ang
Ah,
papanali lima nyo raki ni Khelo. Rali degree ka fela no. Yan ang kihone.
Same level.
Ka hore de wabor rali yung kas komplel la era ba kinade chandi siya kalin. So in that time I was a leader. I was haka. I was HK by the res, and I was playing cricket for the Dragons, and I was doing provincial rugby. And I was heavy into the social life, and I was there. There was no party happening without me knowing. So I was there, but then I figured, I'm here now for another year. I've been here for 3 years. I need to start shaping up what it is that I want to do mentally, and I did it.
Yeah.
I just got a qualification, and halfway through that year, I got an offer from large school fast trap ko Rustenburg.
First up. Okay. Okay.
Remputi bona farre rauka hore re badile ak ntwa your CV but wa re bolella fa we phoned the university. They are telling us about you. They said you are one of the next upcoming educators. You have goals, you have mindset, you are coachable, you are teachable, you are coaching, you have ability. We'd like to offer you a position. Bro, I don't know. Even like stop I get classic no. Nage stop ke class nge vale prayaga Nathan umo New Zealand no ya nage vale I don't phone ya tsena ra mo plan ke amuze ke okay no stress ese ke utlwa gore are no ke come to the interview and everything else if you can. Got my mom's car, went through Rustenburg, did the interview, and I came back the next day. Come on phone ke na le library tira I was even fit to go ba city ke 3 afternoon relax tira yeah re bo feel something ya na re cheese in it remameze in it. And I had a food court. And then man wa pepper. Ya moza ke re ma pele ma ke uka. Warum pabo guy? For a starting for every starting teacher who's a male at the school and everything and all that sort, rofa bukan.
Yeah.
What ora ti beza ka di smile no mahlabi ja twinkle ra e ka ro fetsa bona wa yana montlo o fetang fa ke phone la mauli ke re ma pela I'll come back to you phone la mauli mamzo utlwa di are sio 1 2 I don't know if you feel like you can do it, take the opportunity. I mean, there's not many people who are in university who get job offers from you don't even know you get job offers from the school because people have been recommending it. It means you've been doing something good. And I mean, you are always driven and motivated. So just keep doing it. Just go for it. And I was like, my mom cares about me and she knows me. She so let me listen to her advice. And I took the job. And then since then, I fish at our first year. Hey, Kuranta Yashara build it back at the interview, Kakala for the interview, Kenamo newspapering, SAO, your phone, I am representing. it was happening too fast. It was all happening at the same time, and I
So
said,
you're more like you've signed contract yeah rugby or yeah cricket. You like this is a new signee.
what about in a superstar? This is a new guy. Here's the jersey.
Paparazzi molong.
Wakahela fola da, kwena fola ka smile. It felt like that.
Yeah,
It felt dreamy at the time, but it was marvelous because
Sure.
I didn't think of it as a term. Yahore, I was working hard for it or anything. It just felt like the right thing to do,
Right thing to
and
do.
it felt like something that I was going to do for the rest of my life, which
Yeah.
is what I've been doing for the past couple of years as well. And even though, as you saw, my approach Kolobon and the way the Bang approaching that thing, it was more of a this guy we've heard, we've read, we want to see if he can, and all those things. So I've been very blessed.
So you're saying that your move to Liboni was same as the one at the first rap, where they say, "Hey, guy, we heard about you.
Yes.
Please come over. Let's have an interview."
Come over and check if you if you like the setup, if you like the vibe, you think you can implement something here, you would like you to grow, this is the idea we have, just come take a look, and then if you like it, we'll have an interview, and if you don't like it, then we can get some ideas from you on what you think could be different or anything like that, or if you want to come. So it was more or less the same. So wabona mas again, so look out here, hello, who's been blessed with opportunities and who's been making the best, not just for myself, but for people around me.
Awesome.
So Leoka Proaga, he comes from an average family who has always been supportive in whatever adventure it is, and no matter what challenges life through, it was a thing for Remo. Kasiyama man.
Sure.
Leoka Proaga, Kena Daimani, and then today the same guy. So hey. Yet again, Hojo, I feel very honored and privileged to be able to have known and have the opportunities that I've had, which of course I want to take further.
Sure. And like listening to your story, it's more like when they say your hard work will then speak for you. Like you working hard from primary, secondary, university, and your involvement, like it worked for you for your first job, for your second job, and then you're still aspiring to do big things. Now you move overseas. You worked at the Rustenburg government school. You went public school. Now you in the international school. Why develop overseas, or why China, for that matter?
Wabona Proaga, I've taught from kindergarten.
Yeah.
Right straight up to matric.
Kindergarten, more like your nursery reception.
Yeah, Proaga, guess what?
From the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now we here.
Moving, keep moving. We're mobilizing to a destination. My whole motivation, Proaga, it was it was I want to become part of the government. I've always wanted to do that because I believe that I believe that I can impart something positive, and I believe that I can assist in making the education system of our country more effective and more efficient. Not change, but there are things that work, but majority of other things, they don't work, and that's something that has been influencing the way society has been operating in the way that I've seen it from a young age. I mean, Brown and talent, better mete, wire. Para ka sa tartaha, wa means that I'm an kena fer kung timbinda ko kasida, kena already Casey, kena diamond, betas mo kasi, but he doesn't, una the opportunity, mara he's not able to realize critical thinking skills. Okay, if I do this, it has an impact. So I've met a lot of people. I wouldn't say I've met a lot of people who have more capabilities than I would say an average person has. And we make friends, sninning. 2-3 years later, we will diamond. Hey, bro, I know kya hopola ba non plan ka di ding sio. No fe to di vaya daddy. Ya push am fe to aboda vele. Fete ke bile ka tlhangana le majita mangda se ke bile ka sino fete bile ke bile ka mo jailera wa bona fete ntwana fete makriza fete no ya no fete vele ke bile ka bona ke bule spaza shop a ke gane ke plan ne mara there are ways that we can help our community, not just blacks but the country in general. Because if you look at it, when you say the country, speaking on a blatant point, we are black people. That's our country. That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And as much as we have opportunities, because I've been blessed and privileged to have lived a dual kind of life. I grew up in a white society, Afrikaans as can be. I'm even more Afrikaans than all Afrikaans people I've met. They even say, "Hey, bro, you brought better Afrikaans, Zach." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So what? And then even English, I was like, "Right, your English, bro, is just on another level." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
So
Like,
what?
you speak the other black languages too. I'm like, "I'm black, so what do you want?" How do you learn all these languages? Yeah, well, it's simple. Like when you go to visit your friend, they speak Zulu at his house. Nigga, I guess you gotta know. I guess you gotta listen to the thing. Oh, okay, when he asks for something, he does it like this, and then you start. You may say it wrong a couple of times, but the fact that you have that opportunity, it's invaluable. So the whole reason why international school I want to come back and moving over to China. I want to come back and I want to explore the different possibilities that can happen and compare. And in order to have a broader knowledge of what education can be, because obviously I too have my own idea of what I would like it to be and how I would like it to be enforced and implemented, but I'm not yet in a position to be able to do so. But with the little bit that I can do is get the knowledge before you start implementing and saying things. You need to have know-how, because nowadays people just say things. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going. Okay. Ki ye tšhelete, ki ye zaga no proaga. Zaga ki ye ge. Ya nong go iwa kae. Ha wa bona no. Ke nagana a o tle ka plan o busy wa bua wa politika mara o tle ka plan. O tla ka story man. And that's what's happening. That's just putting it on a lighter basis. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So I came to China firstly, not just to save money or whatever, because for me it's not about money. I mean, it's you make decent money, but you're a teacher, man. It's either you have it or you don't. It's not one of those professions like being a pilot. If you're a pilot, you can't sometimes fly well. You have to always land the plane. That's expected. You're a teacher. You have to be of a certain stature. You have to be seen in a certain light. So you have to either embody it, and faking it, there's no such thing, because you have a difference. Like for instance, matishera ba mo dikolong for 40 years. Hey, bro, aga ulela parking. Kare ke parka for ke nna fa for sekolong ke parking ya. A una ke parking kam. When o tla ka store ke parking so say. Ke parking ya. Mem, a se sekolo sa go sene, a se kontlong ya go fa. Fa go a berekiwa. Fa a rakela wena re tletse go tlo dira mmereko. Ga lo tswa go sekolong nako go ifitile wena tshwanetse go ruta yanong o sa itshwara ka re ngwana le wena. And it's not just in black schools, it's in white schools. All of them, because I've been fortunate enough to have experienced all of them.
Different schools.
And all of those things. So I came abroad to experience the difference in how to do, what to do, what works,
to explore the possibilities.
Yes.
How are we different from the rest of them? How are they teaching compared to us? And the kind of curriculum. I hear you. I fully.
Resources.
It's a learning process.
Learning process in Jalunjal. Resources. How are the resources distributed? How are they? How's the finances? How do the finances work? What is the curriculum? What is this? What role does your qualification play in your position? And that's talking about everything that happens. We haven't even talked about money, which goes to show that it's not
entirely about money.
No,
it's entirely about. It's more of you going to China now, and in that you want to go in China and learn. Then later on, it's more like an investment in short. That you
Yes.
do what you have to do now for 20 years. And in 20 years, I want to do this. In 10 years, I want to do this. But for now, I have to put my head down and learn and grind. So it's more like that.
And yes,
Yeah.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Who compare no yana ka that education? It's forgive me for thing funny.
Yeah.
Roaga. Okay, well, let me start with my day, and then go to students' day. My day,
Yeah.
on a normal day,
Yeah.
it's to haga 6 or just 6:30. Whatever, was snooze at 30 minutes in yana, just for a bank and you feel mo kho ke mantag ke simulate ide.
Yeah.
And then so maybe you've planned, maybe you haven't planned. It doesn't matter. The point is you need to know who you guy. Then school is like a 7:40.
Sure.
And then throughout the day, the class, Chinese classes, Chinese math, and then international classes, math, science, geography, language arts, grammar, phonics, throughout the day.
Yeah.
So those subjects will be subjects that I teach. I teach 6 subjects for one class, 15 students.
Yeah.
Then my day goes up to 4, the class. Then after 4, from 4 to 5:20. It's called club time every day. So club time is like they do different clubs, DIY, badminton, whatever they do, cooking, whatever
that interests them.
Whatever they're interested in. But every day it's something.
Yeah. Is this boarding school?
Yeah, it's a boarding school, but some people come in and out. It's like
the day scholars and boarders.
Yeah. And after 5:20, the day school or the border, you move by the school via, you must be there until 7:10. And that's evening class.
7:10, evening class.
Evening class. And from 6:10 to 7:20 or 7:10, it depends on what grade you are. You must be there, evening class. One day get Chinese math, one day get Chinese. Chinese math, Chinese. You do that. So it's extra work. So if you miss that, you have an option for if you're not doing club. It's okay. You can come. Because the thing is the responsibility. Even if they go home to different clubs, perhaps outside the school. So even in the school, there are still things going on. It's not like or relax or make a PlayStation. Yeah.
Life continues. Learning continues.
7:20. Some of them have a high, but homework. We're homework until whatever time wakaura or robala. Next day, same thing. So when you think about it, but my day, because now I put in the extra effort. It's optional because they get different kinds of foreign teachers, for different perspectives. Everyone's here for their own reason. Now I always work in the office until the latest 9 p.m. So, right? And then some days I even find myself in the office until 12, 11, 10 p.m. Not because, hey, see me, I'm working hard. No, I don't care about that. I don't care. I don't give a shit. But I don't care if they're like, look at this guy, he's working. Yeah, so if they see it, so what?
It's fine. But it's all on you. You're doing it for yourself, not for popularity.
And my students. It's not a popularity contest, and that's what teachers always forget. It's not a popularity contest. You're not here to be children's friends. Teacher Leoka, I think the boys are handsome. Yes, you're at the age, you're at 11, 12, you're allowed to think they're handsome, but come talk to me so I can guide you through whatever it is that you are feeling, And we've come to a point whereby my parents, they completely trust me. Awesome. And they know I don't hide shit from them. I call them, hey man, and I see some tendency of lazy, writing untidy, whatever. Okay, no, we'll sort it out. Next week is not hore. Not even. Hey, teacher, my dad said I should do this and this and what. Oh, okay. Okay, do you understand why I spoke to you first? You didn't listen, so I had to take it further because I want you to take responsibility. And they started learning like that. Teacher Leoka, this one does this. Oh, okay, you are snitching. Okay, let me tell you about snitches. Snitches, they do this. But then if you have a problem, you don't snitch like that. You come to me and you tell me privately. This is how you handle things when you go out in life like this. More perspective. They approach me with a level of respect.
Yeah.
At first, it was a racial thing. My
Mm.
parents were like, yo, the black guy is going to teach. Can black people even speak English? I was like, hey, these people don't know me, man. I don't give a shit what they think. I'm here to teach
Sure.
kids. I'm not going to teach adults. I
Yeah.
don't want to teach adults. And if I do, I would have been at a lecture. I can do that too.
Yeah.
But my passion is here. So as na kwenze ya Pruwaga, you get to learn that, and then you start thinking and comparing. Ka gore o tswa fo gae again.
Yeah.
But go boela fo gae. Start comparing. Okay, mara bana marona. Okay, they always respond like this. It's a fact. It's a fact. But South Africa, they are more active. They are more exposed to outside activity, but they don't have the necessary guidance. They don't have the necessary skill. Levan teacher Aruna, they give up too easily on our children back home.
Sure.
Marahi.
Yeah. I hear you with that. Like what you just said. You said scholar similar 7:40. Then Banaba
Yes.
Fita Scholar 7:10, 7:20 p.m. So it's more like 12 hours of school.
Grind. And
it goes beyond 12 hours. Because just after that 7:10, 7:20, then they go home, they have homework, which can take an hour or two. So it's more like 13, 14 hours of school.
Exactly.
For everybody.
They also have a lunchtime at 2 hours from 11:30 to 1:30. But even then, it's not where they go nap. There's still clubs happening.
Still almost 12
something.
Hours. Yeah.
Something is happening.
So I pick up the difference between our system and then the Chinese system or the school that you're at. That it's more of work. More of work.
Yeah.
No free time to hang around and just let your mind idle and do nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely none.
Yeah.
And if it does, they fill it with something. You have something.
That's
good enough. I'm here. You come read here.
Yeah, that's true. So just going back one step, Leoka, you said there are several subjects. I think you said Chinese math or Chinese math and Chinese something. What exactly is that?
So now here it's a bilingual boarding school, bilingual private boarding school.
Okay.
So they have a bilingual side. They do Chinese. They do Chinese subject, and then they do.
Is it
bilingual.
All of them or optional?
No, you choose what side you want to go to. Now I'm in the international side, so I go side for international. I don't want to run it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. The subject is Chinese.
Sure.
Chinese math.
Mm.
And then in my grade, so the some subjects change as they move on. And in my grade, grade 5, language arts, English.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have maths.
Mm.
They have science.
Mm.
Then grammar, geography, and writing. So that's 8 subjects. How do you
Yeah.
So, for instance, classes give 40 minutes,
Yeah.
And then in between the 40 minutes, you get 10-minute break.
Yeah.
For between every classes. But so for a 10-minute break, I think something. No. I want to rest. Hey, relax. I feel just watching the book, have a little chat with your friends. Hey, pepper. It's children.
Bathroom, stretch.
Stretches. Even 9:30 to 10. Period. They go outside every day. Shapari Darian tell us that they want to Shapari Darian tell us that they dance. Ha! Every synchronized dancing. Teacher, this is a Chinese thing. You have to stay loose and they've got they take very good care of their body. From a young age. So that gives them that responsibility.
Yeah.
And then so and then that's how it works. And then next teacher, like for instance, Monday I've got 3 classes. Tuesday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classes.
Yeah.
Wednesday I've got 2, Thursday 2, Friday I've got all of them. So I'm just Friday.
You powerfully shutting down. You don't just shut down you shut down.
You shut down.
You shut down.
At the plateau, thing that weekend when we were talking
So Loka, yeah, I hear you. So there's quite a lot of people, but by Loka, South African teachers, and as you know, in our back home in our country, there's quite a lot of things happening in the education system, and as such, a lot of young people, less experienced teachers, they wanna go and work across or outside the South African borders. So the agents, the preparation, what did you put in place to go to China? The
Well,
documentations, that lengthy process.
it's a treacherous process. I'm not going to sit here and beat around the bush. It's a treacherous process. So process ya teng progress mula yan,
Sure.
so I did it myself. I did it myself, but there are
So no
ways you
agent,
can do it
nothing,
to kick it
just
off with.
yourself.
No, bro, I got writing. I didn't use agent. You create a miracle, one man. Yeah, abroad. Maulida put. I when I create miracle for China. I want to batch for China. When I'm playing like what I want to Tuesday, I really double check up. Kill miracle, man. I can do this thing. Jabo for internet thing. Jaba like in Alema uchi kai kai. Kem lele mo kila lishan di sesiu kai kai. Amo chekara. Or just get out of them or kin to net. Something that because you don't want to come here and it happens.
No, yeah.
It happens. So process of na in Vaileana. I got an email from a school. The school I gave come for on. No, we've been reading about you. We've heard a lot about you, and we noticed on your LinkedIn profile that you are maybe interested in teaching. Well, just teaching.
Also, so this connection that you got, like the message that you got was from LinkedIn.
No, it was from the school principal herself. The school principal herself saw my profile on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And then she sent me an email and she says, "Hey, I'm this person from the school, and I'd like it to. Would you mind making an interview with me?" Yeah, sure. Who are you? Where are you from? No, I'm from China. So we are 6 hours ahead. So would you mind making time? What time are you available? At that time, I was just chilling at home because you remember when I left Liban, I was like, I'm tired. I just because like I said, I haven't been taking a rest. Like I had not had like a teenage years like everyone else, just chilling, going to parties every weekend and all that. So I was like, when I left Lebanon, I was like, nah, man, I just want to go home and just go kick back a little bit. And I did. So it was at that time. So my mom eventually was like, hey, brah, I know you're not struggling for things or whatever, but how long are you planning on staying here? I was like, I don't know, man. Just
how long is your break? How long is your break?
Hey, are chobisa go di busy dia bereka ka fa phone ke man. Chobisa ka dia bereka phone tla khale re bereka rona since kile 12 years bona ba busy ba jam nate for legends. Ba go tswe out nna ke busy ke bereka ke tsama on tours and everything. So I was like, okay, fine. Then I got this opportunity. It was that one, and then kabiki ka ngwe ko Mozambique. The lady called me ko Mozambique and I'm someone told me about it, and I got one from Cape Town to go teach for the Western Cape Department for a special school of autism. I was like, hey, sometimes I'm like, that needs a different kind of teacher, right? Hey,
mindset,
mentality, hey, that's a different
everything. You need to be 100% to work in that space.
And at that time, I was not in the right space. I was just looking for just teaching. Normal kids with different problems. You just when I give so process ya thing progress after I did the interview, they're giving me the job, and this is what I need to get my documents ready, and then I need to get it to them. So I'm gonna try and stay on point as far as I can with the process. So so you must send all your original documents over to China. That's the bottom line.
The original, like your original certificate, qualification. So you send copies, or you send really hard copies via post?
The endpoint the copy not copy the original to here. But before we system.
Sure.
Qualifications again. The psychology
and PGC.
and the education.
Yeah.
And then You take those, and then you go to higher education.
Yeah.
The education department,
Yeah.
and then they must authenticate the documentation. The university it's a valid university, and your documentation, your qualification is valid. That's validation.
Yeah.
Then police clearance. And why is the police clearance are not it's almost 6 weeks again.
Yeah.
Yeah, with sharper police clearance. So you have authenticated the degree, the police clearance. After police clearance, state certificate, that small paper, colorful.
Yeah.
Not the not the letter in one.
The certificate, like the real certificate.
And then what else was there? IDs and all the other documents, CV, and recommendation letters, so on and so on. Everything after that is important.
Yeah.
Then, out of higher education department, if it's an authenticator, I think we almost say if it's an authenticator, the says qualification. Then, the notarizer. Now,
hey, now what is notarize? Notarize. What do you mean?
Difference, difference between authentication and notary and apostle. And documents are China, notarizing. Notarizing, we said to a lawyer in a who notarize, and then you notarize them.
Yeah.
After the notarizer, then we are more DERCO.
Yeah, DERCO. I know DERCO.
DERCO, Department of International Relations and Cooperations. Mopitori. Excuse me, sir, where are you going? What with this document? No, ma'am, China. All right, okay. And what tell you? What price later?
Later on, yeah.
And what's follow document? And a DERCO ibula from 9 to 12. So I was like, "I can't go in a proaga. What they want to Hubereke Hayamum Santira, Mablela Street, okay, 10 past 12. Amanya. And on Fanos Mo Calvasi, 83 period, 1.5 hour, 2 hours. Pitori, Josie, Calvas, Pitori, Josie. Then, then you wait for Babla 2-3 days, you must come get the documents. Still okay now. After correct documents from DERCO, you will see they have a red sticker from the government and they are tied with a red knot.
Yeah.
Like everything. Everything is fine. Police clearance, say certificate, degrees, identity, everything. Then you take those documents, right? And then, if let me remember, how it's also documented then they go to the Chinese embassy, the consulate, China.
In South Africa.
Right? In South Africa, go Sentini. Go Sentini, go Durban, and I think one more Cape Town. So if you blama go Mpumalanga, is al mood, okay,
shooting.
Go back. I want to still documents Baba ka gore wena. Because getting original, it's important and sensitive in documentation. You must give them. And they're not unless they have the like agent, they're doing that for you. Then you have those things. You must take them there.
Yeah.
Then what they do, the consulate, they take those documents, but it's still China, right?
Yeah.
And then from then onwards, that is towards the last step. But before Fika phone, documents are original, what it's there, we still China to the school. The school already authenticate the government, and then they say this is the person we want to hire, this is everyone we want to hire, and then they send it back to you with an invitation letter to say that they are approving your employment. When you have that, then you go to the consulate.
Yeah.
Give them the papers, then the consulate takes them, and then they go back to China again. Then they go to the PSB and the Entry and Exit Bureau. And then they come back. Now, when they come back, those documents from the consulate, you take them And only then, ke gona o ka yang ko visa application center. Ba go fe your visa. And then after the grab visa yaho, by stamp more passport and everything that you have. And then only are you ready to make the trip to China.
Yeah.
When you get here, Pascolo, they get you at the airport, they come to school, and in 10 days of arriving, you have to go to the bureau in order to get your residence permit, and you have to get your work permit as soon as you get here within 10 days, 10 to 30 days.
Yeah.
And once that is done, then you are going to struggle for 2-3 months because everything is ka phone here, ka phone.
Yeah.
So you have patala ka phone, Alipay, WeChat. So to set up a bank card and a bank account, transfer money now. Because our patela first month, okra pupumpu, ya envelope brown, ya shan, ya shelter. So when okay na
hard cash.
Hard cash. Okay, I want to 20,000 cash.
But before no karibwa kata muna tsa go China o se tsulendile. O shapa brown envelope. Let's go a step back to South Africa. So the process sounds lengthy. So how long was the process, and how much did you spend in getting yourself ready before you left to China, including the driving, the payments, everything?
It took waiting for the police clearance, because you have to get all the documents. It was about 6 weeks.
Sure.
And then wait, the consulate is 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
The DERCU process 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
So generally estimating whole about 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
Zaga petrol ya khutsa ka gore it depends on go kae.
Depends.
Yeah, ka gore ne ke shapa di trip bro ga ene le lintsi thata.
Daily trips.
So yeah, so as soon as I have to be there, it's what I was saying, the effort. It cost me petrol, I think it was 3-4 grand, 3,000-4,000.
Sure.
And then notarizing every document, I think it was 400 for all documents, notarizing.
Yeah.
And then go ya mo DERCU ke nagana gore ke patetse 2 clip or 3 clipper. And then at the consulate, I paid also like 300 or something like 300, 400.
Yeah.
And then the visa application was, I think, 1.4 or 1.9 or 1.3. Yeah.
Yeah. About
then
1.5.
Yeah, out of 1.5. And that's application. And also created then Sanso Patale 800 to get it. So let's say about 2-3.
When you go for collection, you pay again.
Pay again. Yes, you pay again. So roughly
8,000.
8,000. But that was for me. So this differs from individual.
It depends on individual, where you're from and stuff like that. But roughly 8,000. Okay.
8,000.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but also there's another way to do it. There are these people that do these trips and documentations for you. You can get someone, they run a business by this to go to this. Yeah.
You're talking about agents or just people running there?
People who have businesses, they notarize your documents, but somebody collect them more and then they go notarize. But those that I did myself, but they do that for you, and then you don't have to worry about it. Then you pay 3,000, 4,000 for everything. But they wait in the queue for you for how long, whatever. They get your documents done. So you can do it like that. But for me, it was about learning the process.
Yeah.
And halfway through it, I was like, I should have just let these other people do it. But
to just
it was worth it for me.
Yeah. I guess that's it. Like when you part the process, you fully understand what's happening. It's not like someone said, "Nah, you just pay, then wait for 3 months, then you get your papers." Nah. Then done. So you flying to China, your school paid for your air tickets and they took it
No.
that you have to pay yourself.
What happens is they always say they give you flight reimbursements, I get.
Yeah.
So, offer flight reimbursement, meaning where you have to get here yourself. At the end of your contract year, because usually it's about a year contract or 2 years, depending how what arrangement you have.
Yeah.
Then ha contract I fair like ba go reimbursang for that money we berekisitseng gore o fihle for China.
Yeah.
So e bereka yalo. A gona gore ha o fihla fa ba go fa 2 or 4,000 ya go you must work and then ya no gape di gona di accommodation. So my school they provided accommodation on campus.
Yeah.
And no, they will arrange accommodation for you. Now in China, my friend, who one yo, so accommodation thing, it's not always going to be like the flat go clean. Cannot I guys it's like he fast in it. It's something you will not expect.
Okay.
It's nothing as luxurious as you would think.
Yeah.
So they must not expect for a luxurious place and the balcony. I've got friends, you just live sometimes with people you don't know.
Yeah.
You flat them are 3 room, 3 people, share kitchen, meal. So as you get comfortable, then you start meeting other people, you start making different arrangements. Like, okay, I would like to move from here because you know your way around more or less now after like maybe a year or so. Then, okay, I'd like to live here. Okay, I'm going to pay this much. Some schools, they subsidize, but not everything. But you get like 3,000 allowance. So the flats here, especially in Beijing, it's expensive. Living in Beijing, flats.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Oh. So before we talking about you settling in go Beijing or in China, so with the flights, your round trips within your contract, do you still pay for yourself, or they then said, you know what, you're due for your round trip and school holidays, take your money so you can fly back home?
No.
You have to spend your own money.
Hey, I'm fit. I get on contract So after 1 year, so in 6 months, you're going to visit your parents, you're homesick. At the end of your contract, that money. It's very strict according to that. I mean, they even work out your salary to the precise amounts of money, that amount of hours that you worked.
Yeah. Wow, that's quite interesting. And now I know you've touched on settling in Go China. So how has the experience been like for you? Like you spoke about the banks waiting forever, and just give us a picture of your experience settling in Go China.
Well, I when I got here, Proaga, it was my school is I was fortunate to have people to be able to help me like that because that's their job.
Sure.
To make you feel comfortable and settled. I mean, for foreigners here, it's not like some places they're different. But here, I was fortunate for in that sense. Waiting for the bank took about 2 months.
Yeah.
Because it has authenticate you with you must authenticate this, you must authenticate that, you must do this. Settling in wasn't that bad because I mean I had friends here as well. I met people from South Africa as well that work here. Moving here is a process. When I got here, you just get me back.
When you get your money.
When you get your money, you just get me back. So 2,000 yuan is not, for us here, it's not that bad. So
but at least you had support. Hey? Support, I guess, is very important from your school and from your friends. It made it easy for you to settle in.
Let's call them acquaintances. They're not necessarily friends. Let's call them acquaintances. Yeah. Okay. Let's call them that. And we're not all from here, and so that was that. Then the next part was being black here. At first, it's
difficult.
annoying. No, it's just annoying, not difficult. It depends on
In what way?
me.
What's happening?
For me, I'm an accepting person. I'm an accepting person. I'm open. I like to meet people. I'm a teacher. I mean, I
You
embody
out there, you really walk, and you out there.
learning people, learning different cultures, and immersing yourself.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm fit. Wabon.
sure.
Kano vaya himo strategy lo ena ke wa itse gore motho mo lo mongwe ke le China mfeto a gona tsepaya ke le China some people have never when you walk past kids they just point at you because you're different. You're black. Some of them have never seen a black person.
Yeah.
Can we take a photo with you? Yeah, snap it in.
Why would you wanna
Some
do
people
that?
take it offensively, which
Yeah.
is necessary. Some people just say, you know, it's not that bad. It's a thing. If you understand the culture, you must understand, Luena, you must be open to different experiences. And it goes from person to person.
Yeah.
We handle that experience. So for
Yeah.
me, I was like, at some point it was so bad. Some people just want to touch your skin, bro. Like I want to skin, like when your skin is different just because it's black. So once you get used to that, it's a buy.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, language.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
language. China's been Chinese people, bro.
Hey, ni
All right.
hao.
China's been Chinese people, bruh. Writing, everything from writing, reading, every announcements, it's China now. Just China. How fish him there? It's big. It's
Yeah.
big. And it's some
Did you
people
feel lost in translation or lost in space because you couldn't even understand a single word because as you mentioned that everything is just announcement, everything is in Chinese. Do you feel lost in a way?
I wouldn't say lost.
Yeah.
I would just say firstly, uh shocked,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And then also I would say mesmerized and surprised,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because happily you are here. No
Yeah.
one's worried about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Get off, they don't ask you and it's not bad. It's not like if I were to guy, you get yourself in a there's always people, right? There's always people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so it takes time. It takes patience to get used to it. Uh get used to not being aware of what's happening
Mm.
with the language, but open the eyes. Bula mahlo.
Yeah.
If
I
I
love
want
that.
to commotion,
Yeah.
something is going down here. Usada. You're
Sure.
not gonna hear, first of all, you're not going to understand. So we run for
Yeah, that's,
just
that's very true. That's very true. That's very true.
But
Yeah.
we run for. So sometimes you go, sometimes you don't, and it's challenging,
Yeah.
especially when you want to speak to people.
So your language acquisition is it better now? You getting to understand the language
Yes,
so you
yes,
can connect with the
yes.
people.
You can to a certain level, but then they start speaking like it's like Afrikaans. You know,
Yeah.
some black people aba tlhaloganya Afrikaans bro.
No.
So it can be na hore hey, you can speak Afrikaans. No, I can't Afrikaans praat big Afrikaans. I'll taking Afrikaans au pesak Afrikaans here. Mara bisu eh mo manyane gat I'm just saying hore akizu. So it's the same. When
Okay.
you speak a little bit of Uyabo Nara of this Mandarin of the Pudong,
Yeah.
then they think or you understand.
Or you are in there. You are in there. You are inside.
Eh,
Hang out.
Wana
And
fela
just in the surface.
wana fela molomo chief tara mara uko horo hiwa kai mara bizo mo shebile ko makho molomo chief tane temo. Nara motoring okay. Maka two mara tshware two.
So locks. When COVID started, you were in China, And who was the experience for you guys? What happened? Because I
What
think
happened was,
yeah.
for me, I was lucky to be back. I flew
Okay.
back in on. I went home that
Okay.
holiday. It was winter what was it? Yeah, it was winter vacation. So it was Jan. I flew home on the 18th of Jan,
Yeah, I remember. I
2020,
remember. I
and
remember.
then I was gonna be there for a couple of weeks, and then I flew. I was supposed to fly back on the 10th of Feb. And as I flew back on the 10th, it was just when this thing was like, hey, virus go Wuhan, what, my lady wampoza lena kuntlunga. I wanna go to why don't you stay and no man, Wuhan is not here, it's there. So
It's far
if
from
the
you.
flights are going, no, but safety. I'm sure there's systems in place there where
Yeah.
I'll be safe.
Yeah.
Took the flight, Dubai, landed in China. When I was landing, we were the last flight for the day, the first and last flight. The flight's already being cancelled. How did land that?
Mm.
Oh, how can I more Beijing International? Usually go immigration side, go 40 line, go passport on go immigration. This time, lenda, get a more carousel, backpack, whatever luggage you have. And then you have to scan your fingerprints. After you scan your fingerprints, you have to scan your passport. After you scan your passport, you have to go through to the other people, to the service by check your passport or facial recognition, 1 or 2 questions, then wahle. So my driver was already waiting outside. Oh, but it was just us. It was just my plane who was there, but what plane it was all the other planes were grounded, but it was on the 11th of Feb because it's a 2 day. It's a 2 day trip. A day trip. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I flew Sunday morning at 10. I arrived here the next day in the afternoon at 4. Yeah, more or less. 10 in the morning was at 4. So I don't know. Depends.
Yeah.
Anyway, I figure out Roaga, driver aga busy since the mask shabile attire thing now can say Chernobyl suit kamo like remaya ni Mr. Jim eh lagi one China gas China para papa and kamo like remaya sura nan fe jadi nyas China
I guess.
can't. So we have the apps on the phone so we can communicate with the apps.
Yeah, I think I've seen that app.
Busy mo tsara ka riding da aban I landed on the 11th 12th 13th 14th Feb lockdown.
Just after Uland.
I just 14 Feb, camera lockdown, nobody goes anywhere, nobody does nothing. What chill you and what relax you? They were moving containers, Masola Fika, it's in chase. My school, we were not allowed to leave the campus.
Yeah, just being there.
So we were not even allowed to communicate and interact with each other outside in campus, knowing where we're not going. We were not even allowed to do that.
Wow.
You must stay home in your building. So for 6 to 7 weeks, really,
no teaching, nothing. You're just in a house.
No nips. And then that's when the online learning started. And then we started doing that, catching up some material. Students were doing homework, and then things were getting in place. That's when the whole online thing started having a boom. Yeah, that's how that worked. Even then, it was still controlled and managed.
Yeah.
It was empty. My China getting chase. Where you're going, go back.
You can't go.
Wow, you don't talk to me. Go back. Go. Aye, as you come Zanzi, if you take it tunyana, I must say thing. We have delivery apps. They deliver the food here, and one person can. Things were in place. So that was very helpful in the containment of the virus and the containment of the severity of that.
Yeah, awesome.
And also, the people are socially responsible here. When the government says something, the people follow the rules. That's socially responsible.
Yeah, I guess that made it easy for the government to continue with the lockdown for whatever, how long it was.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now you spoke about teaching and so you with colleagues, now you're in this new space. You have to start working with the new people, with language barriers, like everything in there. So how has it been for you, your colleagues? Where they from? The collaboration, the understanding of each other, the challenges. How has the process been for you?
The process has been successful
Yeah,
for me.
awesome.
Uh,
I
Teachers
guess
have
all of
come
it
and
is based on your attitude. As I
yes,
yeah okay.
mainly, and your level of work ethic and your
Okay.
results. Can you
Yeah,
get results?
yeah,
And not the results, pro but I got a class that was not the best at the school,
yeah.
and now they're the best. Everyone's like, oh, this
Awesome,
teacher's doing this,
awesome,
oh, this teacher's this. The kids are so disciplined. No, we
awesome.
want 5A to do this, we want this class to do this. Even my parents were like, no, this teacher will take the students on next semester. It's never happened in the school.
Yeah.
Or a parents bana ba fale di mane. Wherever he's going, they are going. It's never happened. Never happened.
So you're coming in again. You just setting new trends.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That's exactly
Awesome,
that.
awesome.
And Nekna colleagues from Bako, South Africa, and by far the worst people to meet abroad. I'm gonna say it right now. What
Right here. So you're saying that the horrible colleagues to meet abroad are the guys from
It's
South
South
Africa.
African.
So you can meet
Yes,
people from anywhere in the world. You'll just get along,
yes.
and that's fine. But your very
That's what
own
I'm saying.
people, your sisters
Uh,
and your brothers.
uh,
How so? How so, yo? Because like now in Ghana, if I hear that there's somebody from South Africa, be it they white, they color, they Indian, they black, I just go full force and we just
I wanna
be
attitude eo
together.
ya gore le bakeng ne le nna ke le yalo because I was thinking gore re tswa same place, we have the same, we know gore re tswa mo kae, so we know where you're coming from. We are here in a different space. First of all, they are white, Afrikaans white.
Okay.
Now, it started like this for nna. It simolotse ka gore ke bua puo ya bone go ba betere go ba phala.
Yeah.
Ke motho o montsho, ne?
Mm.
And vie nna mmereko wa ka, my work ethic is just relentless.
Yeah.
It's on a level ya gore ai bra le batho ba ba China ba khwa bereki ba batho ba China mara le bona ba bua ba ai bra yo
But now,
I will thata no, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm
we
here to
are
do a job.
tired.
I'm here to do a job. Ke go ira mmereko rra. A ke kgathala gore mang o reng gore ke bereka 24 hours why as long as I get to the results bana ba ka ba performa bana ba ka ba itse mmereko. A ke kgathala gore mang o reng a ke kgathala gore ke bereka nako e kae ka gore you are here to do a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now ha ke chillax ke a relax Monday to Friday ka bereka
Yeah.
Saturday re ka tsamaya le batho ba mo ko Mzansi kaofela like we had colleagues from South Africa ba ko Bloemfontein, and then we have this other guy wa re gola kgowa le ene wa ko PE, and re na le at first ne ra le ngwanyana mongwe wa ko Cape Town o le bila after first semester o re na palwa ke mmereko o no motho ba tlhogo yo ke ne ke bereka le ena pro aga ke bereka da I don't know how to do this. Mona yanong wena mona o teacher yang sa itse gore planning e be man, can you help me? No, I can't help you. I'm fit. We mna ke na le mmereko ya tswa emanyana. So
Lahlela thabele fast.
pressure proala.
Yeah.
Ke hiyo ba ke ga motho nang le tlhoge straight, and I'm not saying gore there are no distractions. Then I had my fair share in my first year ya gore I was, you are sometimes homesick and you are sometimes wondering what am I going to do. You're like you want to go out and maybe you go out too much because the party life, this style, the party life is on point, man. Everything is at your disposal.
Yeah.
It's a matter of I don't know. I don't know.
Self-management. Because
Yes,
if you don't manage yourself, then Papa, you'll be lost. You'll be lost. Instead of you
serious.
sitting and marking or preparing for your lesson or just doing something that has to do with your work, you'll be out there and just having good fun.
Asa gore ke mmereko fela re le bakeng o ka kgona go to a park and go walk and go with your friends, go to a park and go walk and have play some pool, go kart riding gore like going out with people that are not gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna drink for 4 days. You can't do that.
You can't do
You
that.
can't do that, comrade. No.
Comrade,
I don't.
you
I don't.
cannot do
I
that.
wanna. Wawon.
Yeah.
So ke yone ntho e lo provaga. So for nna re le bakeng, it was I came here who were just in the beginning. I was like, I'm gonna experience as much as I can. And I did. I was willing to meet people.
Yeah.
So that's also a question of discipline. You must also
Yeah.
realize because all
Yeah.
people are the same. That's one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah.
here now, as things change, now we have Irish people, someone from Kenya, we have Nigerian lady, we have South Africans, we have someone from Britain, we had some American ladies.
Mm.
So they also
Yes.
impart what they know to you and what you know to them, and it's fun.
So it's a big
It's
learning
really
fun process.
yes,
Yeah.
but it can also be too much fun, as you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's very true. Very true. And in your class, look, I know you've mentioned that your parents are even saying, you know what, I think you must go another year with your children, another year, another year. How is it with your children in class?
Ah, man, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
I can talk for hours about my kids.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know, I know.
it, they trust me.
Sure,
That's the first point of teaching. They trust me,
that's very
and I
true.
tell them I don't
Mm,
lie to them. They
mm,
don't lie to me.
mm.
They are open. They're honest, and they are eager to learn. And that comes from me too. My
Yeah,
attitude
yeah,
towards education, towards what I'm teaching them, what I'm
yeah.
telling them. Do
Mm,
I embody it? Do I do it?
mm,
Do they? Because they see me, and as I walk in school, I feel like a celebrity. The
mm.
Chinese teachers are, hey, teacher, you okay?
With that
And I'm like,
special walk of yours, the chest
as
out walk.
nah, it's how I walk, man. It's just
I know, I know.
it's just me being awesome and stuff. It's just me saying,
Just oozing
I'm
confidence,
here
oozing
and I'm here
confidence,
to be me. Yes, right. It
oozing
drips on
confidence.
me like, hey, it just drips, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the sauce.
That's
And I don't have fire writing. Banawaga, I they don't do anything that nobody. If I don't say it, they don't do it. That's
okay.
it. And if I don't say it, they don't do it. No, all the students must go to this place and this place. Back up Lela Street. Yeah, we're not going. We don't know this arrangement. They ask questions. I
Yeah,
got them to the point. They question everything. Other teachers might
that's
say, hey,
awesome.
teacher, this and
Mm.
this. Back up Lela, manyan. Where's teacher Leoka? All right, gents, change of plan for the day. Sure. 1 2 1 2. Any questions? No, the other teacher came and they said, oh, who? What teacher? No, this one and this one and this one. Oh, okay. What did they say? No, they said we should go to this place that you're saying we must go to, but we said we're not going to go. Why? No, we're waiting for you. Oh, okay. I'm here. Arvaye. And we go. It's a give and take
Yeah,
because I learn
yeah.
from them.
Sure,
They're
sure.
teaching me some Chinese.
Mm.
They talk to me about, brother. They talk to me about personal things, home things, academic things, changes they're going through. They feel so comfortable, even when other people come into my class, other staff members, marketing, board members, teachers. They're like they can feel the authenticity of love in the class.
The
It's
connection, the
smooth.
relationship.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
there. Like even when I'm teaching, hey, brother, they always just bashing out jokes, man, because
I remember you did the same thing go volleyball with Reho and the other guys. It was this beautiful kind of relationship you had with your children. It was massive. It was investing on a future relationship with your children. You're not just treating them like, come in, sit down, download information, and that's it. We're not like we are human beings. Let's keep the human side of it active throughout our interactions.
generally that is what education is about.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyone can go home and read a textbook and
yeah,
know shit about the textbook,
yeah.
but what about the child who's growing up too fast, goes home every weekends and watches adult kind of movies, and he
Mm,
comes to school, he has different ideas, and you spot it and you don't handle it. You need to have depth and even confidence in yourself as a teacher. Ke a bona busy o tshwara-tshwarana le banyana gore busy o tshwara-tshwarana dilo ga di bereke yana ngwana rraman di bereka sio and if o bona gore a kgona go itshwara sentle bua le nna ke bona go thusa gore re bona gore ga o latlhege for systeming or ga o latlhega. You don't lie to the students wa ba bolelela ntho e irang ga ya siama a se gore wa sha wa molela gore ga ya siama fa ke papago fa fo sekolong ga tla fo sekolong ke rra wena tshwanetse gore I'm the dad here, and the ladies and the teachers, they are the moms, all of them, 100%. Not some of them. And that's also another thing, teacher. We have to find that thing to be intertwined into one another and understand, but you're not just here for a salary. You are a parent, you are a brother, you're a sister, you are more than just here for a paycheck. And if you're here for a paycheck, that you need to walk across someone like me who can tell you where to get off. Well, I do that all the time. I do. I tell people. I upset people, especially when it comes to children. I'm very passionate. I just upset people. I do because I tell it like it is. I'm like, how are you telling me a 10-year-old is gonna give you some problems? 10 years, man. You don't tell them in front of the go on. You work out a way, you make time.
Looks like you're having a good learning fun and it hasn't changed. The same Leoka as you work on and now in a different space. So in terms of curriculum, how's it looking like? How's it different from us? How are we similar?
We are not similar at all.
Definitely.
We in South Africa act like we have already arrived.
Okay.
We are too how can I say? What is this? Cavalier.
Yeah.
Casual.
Yeah.
Teachers have 4 holidays a year, teaching for 2 months, holiday, 2 months, holiday, even public holiday.
Plenty, like we have a lot of.
I'm not saying that, brother. If you take it all in all, I think we teach out of 365 days, I think we teach 150, even 100 days teaching. You can't want to compete on an international level, creating an international society that is internationally well recognized for anything when you have people who have idling minds. Curriculum here, it's intense skill and ability. Can you do it or can't you do it? It's not about your parents who were in the school before and they are legends in the school. He used to play rugby for the Lions or he used to run very fast for the school. Now everybody likes you because they know your parents. No one gives a shit, bruh, about your parents. What can you do? That's that. And that's part of the curriculum. The curriculum, Yaruna, here focused on key aspects. How about English? Can you read? Can you write? Can you spell? How about grammar? Can you put a sentence together? Construction. How about the phonics? The pronunciation. How about science? The core of that. Not just we experiment there, water cycle and all that. No. Can you understand water? It changes from this to that. Can you understand what don't you understand? If the water is hot and it's getting heat from the sun, it evaporates. It's a natural. Well, do you understand that? Not just water evaporates, and then after it evaporates, the clouds get heavy, they make rain. It's a simple process, but the simple process, it starts as a simple process, which encourages you to want to know more about those processes. Is it only in water?
So what are you saying? Are you saying that it's a lot of practicals than theories? Because we just sit, we draw the water cycle. So you then that side you go like hardcore practical to get the child fully. Okay.
It's both. It's both. It's both 100% practical and both 100% theoretical.
Yeah.
Because if they can't read it and they can't understand it, then they can't draw it.
Yeah.
And also remember, kima China, banama thing about 10, 11, 12. So for them, gore ba kgona go grasp that content in a way, like even if I'm Mozart. Last year, we did a story in language arts when we're doing vocabulary, it's a vocabulary. Then I always remind them, hey, la gopola story sela sefe, because I too remember it. Surprisingly enough, I remember because I taught them last year. And like I'm saying, it was the first time. So guys, la gopola story Sadamani was blind, jazz guitarist, the vocabulary, the word expert. Well, what does it mean? Oh, it means he was good at something, he was the best. He's an expert, he's mastered it. That's the answer. And I'm like, okay, expert means the same thing in this context. This guy's done this, he's done it well, he's been doing it for years. Same thing. And as soon as ba kopanye that thinking and the knowledge and implement it in whatever it is they're doing, that is a start. Because it's going to encourage them, whether it's math, whether it's science, whether it's grammar, whether it's phonics, whether it's geography, it goes longer and more than that. So it is also a responsibility to say, I want to be good at this, because they must come to you. Teacher, I can't understand this. Then you sit down and you will explain. Explain. Because if they have enough to come and tell you, if they can realize that I don't know this, and they can tell you,
it's a good start.
They don't. There's 1 in every 100, or even 1,000. 10 in every 1,000. Let's make it that. Amara teacher na kalohangi dide. Plus why it's ragu class ya king di mana mungkin rira dide. Breaking manking kawe na rako fai. So the teachers also don't have the know-how how to handle students like that. I want to know how. So then I'm learning that know-how now. Oh, if the student doesn't understand, I don't have to reteach the whole class. Maybe in some cases you do, but maybe in some cases it's an individual thing. All right, everybody go. The class has ended. When I'm officing the and then that's the difference. It's a management thing. It's a skill management and a classroom management. So curriculum is very intense. 20 weeks, one way.
That's long. That's like 2 times.
Yes.
Because 20 weeks is often we go like 10 weeks first term, 10 weeks second term, and more like going 40 weeks per year. So you're going full on 20 weeks at once.
At once.
And how about exhaustion? How about mental health? How you keep the same state of mind throughout the 20 weeks?
That's what makes the difference between a good teacher and a great teacher.
Yeah.
That is where the separation, the separation from men to boys come into play.
Yeah.
Because at week 16, week 15, 16, people just get annoyed about the stupidest things. So you need to be able to be aware of that. And you need to be able to know, okay, geez, we've been working for 15 weeks on end. Tests, sport, marking, this, that, 16-day hours, 16-hour days, 15-hour days, 12-hour days. Eventually, at some point, you're going to have to, that's when physical care comes into play.
Very true.
Because 15 hours, 5 days a week, and then and then Sunday hosting. No, that's illogic.
Yeah.
Logic. Ako na moto ka hurutan logic. Logic iteng kotsayo. Common sense is not common. So Nah, for me, I take vitamins.
Yeah.
I exercise.
Yeah.
I do go out the odd time to have some dinner with friends. Um, and but then I tell them, guys, no, I'm not. At first, I would tell. Now I'm much more mature. I'm much more responsible. Tell them, brother, nah, I'm not going. Not going to that show.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you are the life. Sataka story. I'm not going. I can go relax at my house. I can smack six in my bed, kill Lexiza, kala PlayStation.
That's
Fat like a
true.
story. Kumplela gore, hey, what, nyara nyara, manya.
There's work like that. Yeah.
I've got things to
So,
do.
yo, in your classroom context, we're having good fun, man. I was not aware that we went past an hour already. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm enjoying the conversation. I was not aware, man. I was not, but it's good because I learned so much from you. Because as they say that you can only understand any place, any country through the eyes of somebody. So what you're doing is like you just giving understanding the picture of how it looks like to work and teach in China. And
I hope it
it's
makes sense.
very, very, it makes sense and it's very informative. So coming into the classroom again, technology, because we know the Chinese with technology is massive. So is it the
Yeah.
same thing in the classroom, or there's a big gap between technology in the classroom and technology that we know China for?
No, it's the same.
Oh, awesome.
It's the same.
Yeah.
In my classroom, when I entered, I was actually kind of annoyed, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I was pissed off, I was fucked off. There wasn't a blackboard, man. We know ano teacher ba ka kung wala dilo mo boto ndaw. Tsaka na dilo teo. Ang wana buat hata bro ko mo smere ka to mo fakhe ho ewe na sa. Mo siya ka dai shandis here. When I Google, okay, I work today. We have a board, a smart board. It does everything. It's got a whiteboard. It's got a blackboard. It's got it's connected to the computer in the class, HDMI, PPTs, videos, whatever you need. Is why I get. Is why I get that. So the technology, the students know how to use it. We have transparencies that are connected to this, and you can anything that you can think of teaching using technology is available.
And the gadgets, are the students allowed to bring gadgets into your classroom, or you guys provide as a school?
Not in the primary school. Okay. Because it's still, they are not, because in China, like, how can a more internet thing fail? Like, just there's so many things that thrown at your face. Ads, advertisements, too much. Just things that are not relevant to anything that you should be knowing, especially at that age. And about the government, about this, about that. So it's very important that the students still be limited to that. But as soon as they get older, they're already exposed to that kind of thing. High school, middle school, then they start doing, bringing gadgets to school. They use computers. They learn how to do more self-research. They're already learning how to do research now, because when you give them homework, sometimes I just give them something they've never done. Just most basic. And they come back, by presenter, they do presentations, they do things practically.
I saw the picture you shared with me.
So there's everything. It just depends where, and as a teacher, how are you prepared to incorporate everything?
That's 100%.
So that 100%. Because the whole point is for the students to understand the content that you're teaching and make it into a practical thing that they can implement in their lives. Definitely. Not just using it to watch videos and writing in there, just looking fancy. Okay, we were looking just because of Kavela, so you have money.
Talking Kakavela. Hey, we then go to the last part of the conversation. The remuneration, papi. Is it bad? Is it bad? Is it good? Compared to back home, are you going every month and in wheelbarrow just to collect your salary, or a truck, or how is it? How is it compared to home?
Well,
I like the laugh.
Well, it differs, and there's this thing. There's public schools,
Yeah.
private schools,
Yeah.
international schools,
Yeah.
and there are training centers.
Mm.
But there's also different positions in each one of those.
Yeah.
And for the kindergartens is the ones that you will see most of the time. Kindergarten, but payment differs.
Yeah.
For some 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 of my friends, we kopana le bone fabra. Ba tla ka ditraka. O ka batla go bolela re mona na after the deduction le ka fetsa go deductions di what. Tsa ba ka 30. 30,000 yuan. Kana kana tsa yuan o e tlisa ko ranteng ke 2.3. Now, can you imagine for, let's say, 24 hours, 24 hours to 30 hours a week, that amount of money, 30,000 yuan times 2.3.
That's a truck. Yeah.
And if you have living costs, this is Coke, Kenya Coke, we buy 2 yuan, 2, 3 yuan. Hamburger, normal in it, hamburger chips in the cold. 15 yuan. Simple. Anything, the gaolo, anything you eat, duck food to tofu, whatever. Food is simple.
Affordable.
I'm making enough. Kisira Lazaga back home, saving money.
Yeah, that's
but it's still enough.
That's enough to put in investments and in the right places for future.
Well, yeah, but I don't put away 40,000 rand a month. Jesus, what the hell am I?
No, I'm not saying you're putting all of it. I'm saying you just put enough.
Oh yeah, enough. Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're putting in all of it, then you're gonna starve to death.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, payment is good.
It's good.
The payment is very good for all foreigners. I must say, for all foreigners, all of them. It depends also where you work. If it's in a smaller city, the things will be much cheaper there. So the salary that you're making will be more than enough. Save
Okay. Awesome. It's good. So it's been awesome talking to you for almost 2 hours, brother. Yeah, almost 2 hours. I've learned a lot from you and wishing you, man, all the best in the future, all the best in making trends and changing the game in China. Because I know it's quite difficult to do what you really want to do outside the motherland, outside your own country. There are challenges, there are a whole lot of things. But for the fact that you're maintaining your work ethic, you keep on pushing, you keep on changing and destroying borders, beyond borders, it's highly commended. So
I appreciate it, Lalaba King. It means a lot. And thanks for the opportunity once again to share the little bit of knowledge that I have.
Yeah.
It's not often that one gets an opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So one should say that it's valuable. And yet again, thank you for the platform that you're creating for everybody to be able to still feel appreciated and also feel the sense of what I'm doing. Not just me, but everybody who's teaching what I'm doing is still valued and appreciated. Because it's not every day that people still do that, especially in the times that we are living now. Everybody being so sensitive and so brittle. You can't be too kind and you can't be too nice and you can't be too harsh. Just so it means a lot, not just to me, but I'm sure to everybody else. It also means a lot, and it's going to be something that continues to grow. And yet again, you've been doing such a good job. Keep on doing that, my brother.